All right, welcome back to Life with Vanessa. Thanks for joining me today. Today's going to be a fun one. No notes, no nothing. I'm going to totally be off the cuff because I'm going to talk about how I use ChatGPT. ChatGPT has helped me as a busy working mom. It has also helped me in my 5 to 9. It has helped me in my health journey. It has helped me studying the Word. I will also talk about any other things that I can think of, but let's just jump right into it. I use ChatGPT pretty much daily. My daughter laughs at me because she's like, "I know you use chat." Sometimes my friends call me about various things, and I'm like, "Did you ask chat?" And the reason why I say that is because it is a tool. Okay, just like you use your phone every day for everything, you have common sense, okay? You know your phone is not perfect, all right? You know you're gonna have loose service, you're gonna have bad connections, you know you're gonna get spam calls. People, put that in context. Chat is not perfect, but chat has access to data well beyond my brain, and I tap into that data. So, last year I was on a health journey. And in February of last year is when I started, February 2025. I started using my Fitness Pal. And then one day I was like, let me ask chat because my Fitness Pal's calories are a little suspect. And I said, I need to eat a little bit more than that, my Fitness Pal. So I put it in chat. And chat was like, well, how much do you weigh? So I put that in there. And then what I started cultivating is putting in chat my weight in the morning because I'm one of those, I don't mind weighing myself every day in seasons, right? But let me just, for the purpose of this example, let me tell you what I really did in February last year. And chat would say, hey, based on these calories that you need to have, you can eat your chicken thighs that you like, your ground beef that you like, your Greek yogurt, and even help me dial up my protein. I was having certain cravings, or I wasn't what's the word? Satiated enough. And chat was helping me with that. So with that being said, that's how I use chat in my my weight loss, but health journey, more so health journey, and getting a little tightened up around the midsection helped a lot with that. What I also discovered is, and this is just trial and error. Like I don't know why people, maybe prompting does help you, and sometimes I used to watch prompting videos, and prompting is what to put into chat to get the results that you need. So some of it has helped me, but some of it I just said, can it do this? When I go out to eat at a restaurant, I take a picture of the menu and I say, chat knows me by now, and it'll say, hey, you should eat this, you should eat that. Now, if I go out to an Italian restaurant and I want pizza, and chat may be telling me to get some grilled salmon and veggies, well, chat has known where my weight is. It knows where my cravings are. It knows how much I've worked out. And it will say, okay, if you do want pizza tonight, eat this particular portion of it and bring this home, or get this type of pizza. It helps you in that way. So take a picture of that menu, load it in chat, and it can help you. I also started taking screenshots of my Fitness Pal and say, okay, this is how many calories I have left. This is how much protein I have left. You don't even have to say it. You can just take a picture of your daily, put it into chat, and it'll say, oh, you have X amount of more protein. Perhaps eat this. Or based on what you've eaten today, perhaps you want to consider this tomorrow. And so that's how I use chat for my health journey. Also, sleeping. I'm on up there, mid 40s, and sleeping with a little bit of, not where I needed it to be. I put that in chat. And chat told me to increase my magnesium. Chat also told me, for you ladies out there, to, I think it's 350 milligrams that I'm supposed to have. I can look it up on chat. You can look it up on chat for you. And it will say, it told me to take 2 pills at like 7 o'clock, and then my other 2 pills at, let's say, 8:30, so it can be spaced out in my body when I'm sleeping. Game changer, people. Game changer. Even when I go to Whole Foods or I go to Target, I will take a picture of all the magnesiums I used to compare which one I should get. And it helps me because it starts learning your behavior, it starts learning you. So even down to my sleep. And then my daughter helped me with weighted blanket, and I sleep with the little, whatever they call the eye mask at night. And chat helped me with that. It helped me cultivate a better sleeping schedule. Game changer. Something else I need to back up and say is I'm not a doctor and I'm not a tech person. These are just how Life of Vanessa uses ChatGPT. I create projects for all of this. Like I have a health project, I have a sleep project. Let me go ahead and talk in these other projects that I have. Another way, my son, Tobias, 6th grade, he needs to study for a history test. And the teacher would post the history notes. What I do, and I figured this out at the beginning of the school year, thanks to God and chat, right? I copied off his notes that the teacher posted, put them in chat, and I say, create a quiz for Tobias. And it did this on its own at first. And I was like, wow. It created interactive quiz, meaning that it spit out all the questions. And if he got it right, he could just it would make it multiple choice, interactive, right? He can click on the dial A, B, and C, and it could even make a noise if it does well, or it can did a buzzer, but we don't do that anymore. Sometimes I print it out if it has like, I'll say create a quiz making 20 questions, and it does that. Create a quiz doing 15 multiple choice questions. Create a quiz making sure there's no essays, but just multiple choice. And when he gets them wrong, let's say he gets four out of the 20 wrong, I'll say create a study guide. Tobias is dyslexic. Create a study guide for a dyslexic child. And now I've done this so much because he has quizzes every week for history. It knows that that's what he needs. And he'll study those 4 questions or those 4 points on his study guide. Then we retake the test. That was first semester. Second semester, Tobias, I have created him a ChatGPT account. It's monitored. I have access to his account. And he now copies his own notes, takes his own quizzes, but then I'm Mama Bear, and sometimes depending on the information, I'll go ahead and just spot check him and create my own quizzes. But he has taught himself how to do it. You know, he's 13, so this comes way more naturally to him. So just helping me help him study for quizzes or test or whatever you have it's just been a game changer. He was reading a book that he was not a fan of, and I love using technology in any way possible. So instead of him reading the book, he would listen to the audio book. And while I'm cooking, washing dishes, or whatever in the evening, I can also hear the book as well. But I would say, hey, chat, because he would have a quiz on this awful book. It ended well for him, but for me, it was like, oh my gosh, there's no way I could be listening to this. It will create, I would say, like he may have a quiz on chapters 24 through 27. I would take a picture or a screenshot off the internet of the book, because you got to make sure there's different iterations of certain books for that age. Create a quiz for him. Now, what I want you to know, sometimes it would use the wrong version. Like I said, chat is not always perfect. But when it gets it right, it gets it right. It will give him the summary of the chapter, create a study guide, and then a quiz. That is a game changer as a working mom. I had a friend who is really hell bent on not using technology, not exposing her kids to technology too much. But her kid is struggling. Her kid goes to a different school. And I was talking to her and I said, you know, you can do X, Y, and Z with chat. And she goes, the teacher told me that, but I don't want to introduce him to technology. Do you drive a car to work every day, or do you use a horse and buggy? You know, are you going to be the one to use a rotary phone, or do you have a cell phone? It's there to make your life better, people. Also, Tobias was complaining about me not allowing him to watch stuff on Netflix. I'm really anal about what my son watches. He doesn't watch Disney because it doesn't align with me. Another topic for another day. But what I love, chat, is I have a Tobias project, even have a Tobias shared project. So him and my daughter who uses chat while she's at college and me are in a group circle that we can throw stuff in there. Hey, should he be watching this? Because I know I don't want any sexual content. I don't need any romance. He's 13. It's not time to listen to the love stories. Not a violence, no demonic things. And there's more stuff, but I can throw it in chat and it will evaluate for me whether or not he can and cannot watch it. And the funny thing is, he has his own chat and he'll throw it in his chat, and his chat says he can watch it. But I'll then copy from my chat, Tobias, and throw it in the shared one so he can see it on his chat. I'm like, no, you can't watch it. And here's the reasons why. Another thing, if he likes a certain movie, I can throw it in chat and say, find me similar movies on Netflix. Something else you can do. You can take a screenshot of all the movies that he has, like he has his own profile for Netflix, right? Which one of these movies can he watch right now? It's a Saturday afternoon. I'm creating a YouTube video. He wants to watch a movie. I don't have 10, 15 minutes because he's very picky about what he watches to help him sit in front of the TV. I'm like, okay, I want to record my video. Chat, help him find a movie that I don't have to be paranoid, don't have to be worried about. And it does that. Another thing that chat does, as far as Tobias, is he's an avid reader. And I don't want my son reading things that are inappropriate. And if you know, the more advanced reading that they get, there's a lot more that he can be exposed to. I'll go to the library, throw that book in chat, or even before we go to the library, throw that book in chat, and it will help me based on my criteria as a mom of what he should and should not watch. Game changer. Because he used to read books out loud when he was younger, so I could be like, hold on, no, we don't need to read this book. Or I could go to goodreads.com or Christian Mom, whatever, different sites. But chat gives you a better analysis and quicker time. Again, it's not foolproof, but it's been working really well. What I do love, what you can do at the library is he's struggling to find something. All the books are there. I can just take a picture and say, chat, out of all these books, it could be like 30, 40 books, if not more. Enough that chat can see the side binder. Which book would he recommend and why? Based on this, based on that. It'll pull it up. Same thing if I go to the bookstore. Take a picture. It'll say he would like this, he wouldn't like this. And that has been really helpful for me as a mom. So that's how I use it for my son, Tobias. For me, I talked about my health. I talked about how I use it as a mom, a working mom. Something else I use it for is my Bible study. And I was in a women's life group last semester that we talked about humility, and it was really, really good. But I tell a lot of people like me, sometimes you can't understand certain things in the Bible because of the translation. I really liked the easy translation, but I also got really enamored last fall with the book of Acts, the book of James, John. And what I love is in the mornings, and I still do now, right now we're reading Romans in my women's group and I really like it. But let's just say I have Acts 1. I'll read the translation, but then you can say, hey, chat, provide a daily study of the book of Acts. And you can say, send me the daily devotion every morning at 5:30. That's what I would do sometimes. And today I just created one for Romans every morning at 5:30 for the book of Romans. And it will do that. It will send you a devotion. But what I was doing last semester, and I haven't started back this year, but I will, I would have the book of Acts, I would read it, then I would type into Acts to chat. I've read Acts. And it will spit out everything to know about Acts. Well, what was going on during that time? It will tell you what's going on. Well, what did this verse mean? And how does it tie to this? And you can ask chat to help you study the word, people. and it's really good. Now, obviously, for me, and I advise you to, I would pray over it and say, God, help me right now to understand and guide my study. So, in doing so, I feel like God is going to protect my eyes and protect what I'm seeing, or give me discernment to not use chat today, right? But it's been very helpful in that sense. I was trying to study something for work, or understand something for work. And I asked chat for 5-10 days on this particular topic, send me something at 7 o'clock at night. And they'll email me something at 7 o'clock. And I asked it to make it 10 minutes because I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. But I just wanted to reinforce some things that I had taught myself on a particular topic. 7 o'clock at night, it sends me a 10-minute thing. I read over it, do what I need to do. Another thing, way that I use chat, did not mean to make this so long, but I use chat a lot. I was rearranging my living room in a new season. I want to start the new year off with some new decor in the living room. So I took a picture of my old couch, took a picture of my whole entire living room space, and I said, chat, I want to add color. My old colors were like grays and light grays and blacks and browns. And me and chat sat down and we talked about what I was looking for. And I say we, because it helped me cultivate the new layout that I really like and appreciate. And another reason why I wanted a new couch is I have 2 small dogs, like you guys know, and I got tired of using that little green machine all the time to clean my couch because they're dogs and I need to keep a light gray couch clean. They come in from the rain, from outside, and do whatever. They're like dirty and they want to rub all over it. So I got a black leather couch. But I will tell you this, when I was going to the store, since chat already had my living room picture and knew where I was going, all I had to do is take a picture of the new couch, because I have this in a home decor. I think that's the project. It's called House Project. And I take a picture and chat would say, this couch will work well based on your goals. This couch wouldn't work that well. Then I would say, what about this material? Because I have 2 dogs. I want to easily clean. I did not want to keep having to clean fabric once a month. And I would take a picture of the manufacturing label on the couch or display, and it helped me get a new couch, essentially. And have that aesthetic eye that it helped me come to terms with my design and give me confidence. And when I sit in my living room now, chef's kiss. It helped me a lot. Next is going to be my bedroom and my kitchen. But yeah, it helps me with all these things, people. Another thing I am working on is tightening up my finances. And I threw certain things in there for chat, and me and chat have a plan. We have a game plan, and it's helping me with that. And what it helps me do is put everything in folders, because I am a very avid thinker. I think about a multiple of things. And it's helping me cultivate little buckets. And I can, let me think about this. Let me put it in chat for right now, or help me dissect different things. Finally, when I had some thoughts and need to understand boundaries a little bit more, and I use that word a lot, but even just making sure that I didn't put up walls unnecessarily. So there's boundaries, wall, another topic, another day. Chat helped me cultivate discipline in that area, but also helped me find books for myself to read on these topics as well. So I use chat in various ways, and I love it. And I empower you and encourage you to go use chat in various ways. Final way is, if I have some final ingredients like that I want to use up, you just take a picture of that. Hey, chat, I have this, and this on the counter. Take a picture of that, and chat will say, you can create this recipe. Maybe you need to go get this, or do you have this on hand? And it will work with you. So chatgpt.com. Use it. I should have started with that. I have the paid version. I think it's $20 a month. Tobias uses his own allowance, birthday money, whatever. He pays for his own subscription because he uses it a lot to write scripts. He's writing design things that he's working on himself, and he uses it for his homework, his schoolwork, not to do the work, people, but help him quiz himself, test himself, look things up. And then my daughter uses it for her college stuff as well. So yeah, that's how I use ChatGPT as a working busy mom. If you have any questions, or you want to throw in some other ways that I can learn from you guys on how to use chat, drop it below. Till next time, thanks.